Is Yako online? Okay, Mr. Kajani?
We can't hear the venue.
Oh, you can't hear. I'm sorry. Yako, can you present? Yes, Dr. Noah has finished. You didn't hear her? You are muted, Yako? Yako?
We heard a stop. Hello, Penny?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now. You can present. Sir.
Mr. Kajani can go first.
No, can you go first because
Okay.
somebody else will be presenting here for SADC Met. Yeah, we just want you to present online.
Okay, good. Can you see?
Yes, we can see. Yes, thank you.
Brilliant. So, thank you for the opportunity to present you our SADC report. As you know, that's the SADC Corporation in legal metrology. If you do not know, this is more or less where we are situated on the southern point of Africa, and our member countries, 16 member countries, is as you see there, and then also our associated institutions, if, of which Ghana is one. So SADC and SADC-MEL is established under the SADC Trade Protocol. We share our home with other cooperation structures, SADC-STAN, SADCA, SADC-MET, the SADC PRLC, and SADC PBPFC, and we all resort under the PBP expert group. I must just maybe say that we are currently busy with a big project to review the SADC QI strategy for SADC. So that project is almost complete, and we are expecting a report soon. So there might be some changes in our future strategies. Our chairperson for SADC-MEL currently is Zambia. Our vice chairperson is United Republic of Tanzania, and we are members of Afrimets. So our mission and objectives, mainly we are responsible for legal metrology regulation in the member states to ensure that we ensure and facilitate equivalence of that. Then we develop and maintain confidence in legal metrology activities, and we identify and remove any technical or administrative barriers, and we promote the consistent interpretation and application of our technical regulations. We had the SADC-MEL General Assembly on the 25th of March this year during our PBP cooperation structure meetings, which was hosted by Zambia in Victoria Falls from the 24th to the 28th of March. I'm glad to say that we had a keynote speaker in our session, Mr. Henry Schatten from the MMI Surfen in the Netherlands, which gave us a great presentation on OML R46. For you that don't know, that relates to on the differences between the old and the new, and how we can relate the requirements to our verification procedures. Excuse me. Then also at that meeting, South Africa was reappointed as the SARECML Secretariat for the next 3 years, but we will be understudied by the United Republic of Tanzania with the intention of taking the responsibility over of the Secretariat possibly in 2028. I'm also very glad to inform you that we also had a very successful SARECML prepackaged goods workshop that was held in Johannesburg in South Africa from the 13th to the 15th of May. I must say that it's the first time that I can report that all 16 member states attended the training, even Comoros, and we had a very action-packed 3 days of training. It was sponsored by the PTB, so our thanks goes to our strategic partner in this respect. And the training covered our document or our harmonized documents on pre-packages. So it's SARECML document 1 that deals with all of the marking requirements, which is of course aligned with the OML R79 as far as possible, and then also our SARECML document 4 that deals with the accuracy requirements for pre-packages. And I'm glad to inform at this training session, SARECML also resolved to adopt the newest requirements in the latest OML R87, which is the newest model or statistical model to ensure the accuracy of pre-packages. The training was presented to SARECML by myself as RC, and also chair of the OML TC6 technical committee dealing with prepackaged goods within the OML. I'm also glad to report that SARECML supported OML training event that was held between the 7th and the 11th of April in Maputo, Mozambique. It was attended by our legal metrology officials from Enoch in Mozambique. So it focused on and helped them support to also better understand pre-package requirements. It was this training was supported by UNIDO, and all of the training material was translated, and we had translation at the venue to Portuguese. Again, this course covered the SARECML document 1 and SARECML document 4 in totality, and it was presented by, again, myself and then Mr. Pedro Vargas from the SIM region. If I can summarize our challenges in the region, basically we are still struggling with legislation, be it outdated, be it in the development for new legal metrology areas, be it not timely, and be it not harmonized. So we are working in trying to solve this challenge. There is also, of course, always human resources challenges to ensure sustainable training, and then of the accessibility and cost of equipment. understand the regulatory and legislative requirements of OMLV1, so hopefully soon we will be able to present that, and then also future opportunities to, after our SADC QI strategy review, to looking forward in developing a new SADC strategy for 2025 to 2030. And I will thank you for listening to me with this wonderful picture taken in Zimbabwe at the Victoria Falls whilst some people were busy with meetings. I, of course, took some time off to look at the waterfalls and not do work. So, Chair, thank you for the time given to SADC to give you our very brief and small report. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Marnevic. I'll ask Sadakmet to just come and present. Thank you. Do we have Mahmet online? Thank you. I just received your presentation. Let me try to get it on.
Thank you.
You may continue.
Thank you very much. I'm presenting the SADC committee report on behalf of the chair who is not here. In the morning he was online, but it looks like he's not online now. Next slide, please. Thank you very much. The SADC is one of the TBD structure in the SADC, comprises the 16 member countries. And in our activities as Metrology, we have got 5 associate members, which are KEBS, NIST, SAN, Ethiopia, and Uganda National Bureau of Standards. These members became our associates long before Afrimets was formed. So they were participating actually in the IOCs that we were doing before Afrimets. So from the members of SADC, we only have 1 full member, which is South Africa, and we have got 7 associate members of the CGP, who are Mauritius, Seychelles, Zambia, Zimbabwe, Botswana, Namibia, and Tanzania. And all these associate members have signed the CIPM MRA. We are glad to report that also DRC is in the process to join the CGPA. The structure, I will not go through it, but the chair, as it is already said, is Mr. Kajane, and those are the other members of the structure. We held our General Assembly in Zimbabwe. I know Yako talked about Zambia. It was in Zimbabwe, Victoria Falls. That's where the meeting was, and our meeting was on 27th of March 2025. And the attendance to this... Thank you, Yako. The meeting was well attended, and also our partner PTB actually attended. So we had 14 member states that attended, 12 were physical and 2 attended online. The activities that we undertook during the period under review is that we participated in the 40th APM General Assembly, and it was attended by the Regional Coordinator, Mr. Masuku. We also, Mr. Masuku also represented SADC and the Afrimets at these meetings. The activities I continue to report that every year SADC runs SADC water proficiency testing scheme, which is in chemistry and microbiology, and this has been graciously been sponsored by PTB for so many years, and every time we complete one cycle of the PT scheme, we always have an evaluation workshop. So the last one was held in Namibia, and more than 100 laboratories in the SADC participated. Coming to capacity building, we had the uncertainty measurement course that was held from 24th to 27th February in Johannesburg, and it was attended by 28 participants from 15 member states. It was well attended as well. We also held a temperature IOC closing workshop. This was to look at the reports and the IOC results that we had done in temperature. This was held from 17th to 25th March 2025. And PTB was gracious enough to sponsor this one. We also have had training, theoretical and practical training at NIMISA in pressure. SADC National Metrology Institute, especially the associate of the CGP, are continuing to participate in the Afrimets. Key comparisons, I'm sure you saw from the presentation by the TC chairs how many countries have been participated in the IOCs and how many have participated in the CMCs. We have a 5-year IOC plan, and in our plan we have the 4 areas that we are targeting: volume, dimensional, mass, and temperature. And we hope to include pressure since we have done a training. So we are saying while progress is noted in some fields, challenges related to completion of IOC in some fields, related to customs issues, delayed in procurements of artifacts, we were affected with that. We normally face a lot of problems, especially with customs. So that is just our IOC project that we plan. We have got micropipettes, mass, temperature, dimensional, electrical, pressure, and chemical. So this is just a continuation that in future we are planning to have closing workshops in the 2 remaining fields of volume. Also support the implementation of the 5-year strategic plan. Further assist in the electrical IOC and the attachment training, support the development of measurement capabilities, develop the new look for fuel SADC website, implementation of the 5-year IOC plan. So that's just the plan. And that I'll skip. Thank you very much. Merci beaucoup. Obrigado.
Thank you very much. Is MECMET online? They are not online. Thank you, colleagues. Any questions? Then we will have the BIPM to represent Dr. Anna. To present, sorry, not represent, but to present.
Anna.
Yeah. I think time is telling now.
Good afternoon. Are you still awake?
Very much.
I see very tired faces. Okay, so I try to be quick, not to take too much time between now and the dinner we are all looking forward to. So this is just the current statistics of our membership. At the moment we have 64 member states and 37 associates, and 258 institutes participating in the CIP-MMRA. And after listening to the discussions today and realizing that, of course, there are quite a number of institutes here in the room that are not participating in the CIP-MMRA yet. So I think this is maybe a topic for the next year to maybe have a workshop, some information about the CIP-MMRA. We had lots of questions about the procedures and so on. So maybe this is a topic for us to have a joint event on raising some awareness on the CIP-MMRA in this region.
Maybe next year is too far. It could be media.
Yeah, it could also be within the next year, let's say. I don't know if the news has spread already. Martin Milton, the BIPM director, will retire by the end of this year. And we are expecting the new director, being the director designate, to arrive in September, end of September. Her first week will be at the JCRB meeting in Tashkent in Uzbekistan. And so there will be a 3-month overlap with the current director. And it is, of course, Annette Ko from New Zealand, the head of the Metrology Laboratory of New Zealand. We also have a new JCRB secretary. We were very lucky to have the first JCRB secretary from Afrimets region for 2 years, Ibrahim Ahmed. He has left in the end of May, and now our new JCRB secretary is Kazuaki from NMIJ. So he's the person to contact about any questions about the CIP-MMRA procedures. We are continuing our efforts with some of the other international intergovernmental organizations. Most importantly, of course, UNESCO. I already reported on our joint event on May 20th to celebrate the anniversary this year with UNESCO at the UNESCO headquarters. We are also in the process of updating our MOU with UNESCO. It's one of the oldest, or maybe the oldest MOU we still have in place from 1952. So we are in the process of modernizing this. We did attend the COP29 meeting in Baku, Azerbaijan last year. We are in contact with the UNIDO and UNESCO. I think I've also mentioned that yesterday regarding some activities, also in capacity building and awareness raising with UNESCO, especially for the educational sector. And I would also like to mention that we are preparing a session together with the WTO TBT committee, a thematic session on metrology in November. So they have meetings 3 times a year, and normally they have some workshops before the meetings. Before the November meeting, there will be a workshop on metrology, also highlighting the anniversary, and hopefully also the planned extension of the system, our Universal Adherence Project. So you can pass this on to your colleagues in the TBT offices in your country. I already reported about the anniversary, so I will not go into much detail here. I just want to remind you that we have all the resources online, all the videos on the YouTube channel. So I know there were a few delegations from Africa, but not everybody could attend in Paris. So if you want to reshare this, revisit or reshare, also for promotional reasons, please use our material, and please make sure that you visit our website because for us it's not only this 1 week, this one event, it's a whole year of anniversary events and specific promotion we try to do for metrology for everybody around the world to raise awareness for the topic. So then maybe the topic I really would like to highlight, even though it's a little bit late, but I think it's, oh, we lost the presentation. Because I think it's an important discussion for this group. As I mentioned, we are covering a little bit more than 100 countries at the moment. This is due to the fact that we also have one economic community as an associate. But it also means that we are missing exactly 84 UN member states in our system. They are neither a member state or an associate for the BIPM. And the numbers have been quite similar for quite a while. So there was a period when lots of associates joined, and now once in a while we still get an associate or someone moving to the member state status, but it has been quite stable. So the question was really, why are we not able to reach out to these other 84 countries? And we think that we are maybe not catering them with what they need. Somebody raised the point here, I think today again, that the work in the CIP-MMRI, under the CIP-MMRI, it's really very technical. You have to have a good level of skills, of knowledge in your laboratory to be able to participate. And maybe this is not relevant for many of these 84 states. So this is an offer to these 84 states to still join the system, to be part of the system, but without having to pay a membership fee, getting the visibility and the information being included, but not necessarily having to invest in the laboratory, having to invest in the membership fee. So, I mentioned this already. So between the 84 countries, there are a few where you could say, okay, they have their country, their GDP, their economy has a size where it would maybe make sense to become an associate. But there are also, if you look at the numbers, within the 84, there are 71 countries that have a really low UN coefficient. They are just very small economies, not necessarily small countries, but the economy is small. So the question is, does it make sense for them to invest in the technical infrastructure you need to join the CIPM MRA and become an associate and so on? And I've mentioned that yesterday already. The biggest group within these 84 countries is actually in the Afrimets region. So we have some good participation from Afrimets, 5 member states and 8 associates. But then we also have the biggest number of these countries with a very low UN coefficient being members of Afrimets, but not part of our system. So I hope we can really work together in the next years to do awareness raising, to bring these countries on board, to work together, the BIPM and the Afrimets. Maybe a seminar on the CIPM MRA could be a first step. And yeah, we think it will be beneficial for all our current members, because we are basically extending the system and the visibility of the system. But I think it's also very beneficial for these countries to join, because they will reach some visibility and get the information, get training through the BIPM and our partners. So then I've already mentioned capacity building quite a bit until now. I think I will skip our statistics here because of time constraints. I just would like to highlight that we are trying to more and more collaborate with the RMOs and also help to coordinate between the RMOs for the capacity building to create some synergies. So in 2023, for the first time, we organized a in-person workshop for all the secretariats in Sèvres. So Penny was not there by then. She might be able to join the next time to share the knowledge from the BIPM with the RMO secretariats, because there are always lots of rotations in the secretariats to make sure the people in the secretariats have all the information, but also to reinforce the communication between the secretariats and create some synergies. And one area where we are really following up on this is capacity building. So the people responsible for capacity building in the different RMOs, they are now meeting regularly and share the information about the programs they are running. Then, of course, we have our e-learning platform. I know we have been in discussion with Afrimets, so this is another call to start publishing content there. It can be very basic content to start with, just explaining what Afrimets is, or maybe what your regional, sub-regional groups are. It doesn't have to be very technical content. If you go to the other RMOs, you see that most of them have such an e-learning course, for example, online. And yeah, I already mentioned planning to have a module also for comparison pilots, which might be interesting for this group. And we are working on a very basic introduction on what the BIPM is. This is also still missing, exactly for the reasons I already explained, to bring those who are not familiar with the BIPM on board. Then this morning I already mentioned the summer schools we are running at the moment in the different region for the UTC. And we have conducted one in collaboration with SIM this year, and we are planning one at the BIPM in September. And this is the proposal I bring from Terra. Terra joined the meeting as a NIST representative a little bit earlier, but this is now a proposal from Tara being a secondee at BIPM, together with Ibrahim, who's not online today, I think, which is to have a online session to discuss such a training program for the Afrimets region, because we conducted the survey. Tara and Ibrahim conducted the survey, and they found that the needs are really very diverse, and to support in the most efficient way, it would be good to have some exchange about the gaps and the needs and the best approach in the region. So this is a proposal from our side to have such a session, which could be online. Just to conclude, I would like to mention that the Young Metrologist Vision 2050 Plus, where Afrimets was also very engaged, conducted one of the online conferences, has been published last October, so you can go to the BIPM website and see the report. And you will also find the CIPM strategy on the website now since May, and you will see that actually the CIPM did pick up some of the ideas from the Young Metrologist report. So I think this is a great success story. I've just two quick things you can also research on our website in more detail. I just want to make you aware that the third version of the VIM is under discussion. So we had a big seminar with, I think, around 1,000 online participants 2 weeks ago to discuss this new draft. There will be another round of consultation after this, but then we hope we will soon wrap up this draft and finalize it after many, many years. I'm not sure how long they have worked on it. And then my last update, we are just starting the process of flipping the Metrology journal to a fully open access journal. So from January 2026, all articles in Metrology will be fully open access. Also means that when you want to publish, of course, you have to pay a fee as the author of the article. But for everybody else, just for reading, the journal will be for free. So these are my quick updates from the BIPM. Thank you. I don't know if there are any questions, discussion.
Any questions online and here inside the hall? No question. No question. I don't know.
This is the opportunity for you to ask that burning question that has been disturbing you. Because for sure, yes, it's you are scared or tired?
Yeah, maybe tired. I'm still around until tomorrow.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
You can also come up.
You can, yeah. I think we still have dinner, and they can also ask. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Let's thank Dr. Anna. The next presentation, OIML.
for anyone online, they're just swapping the laptops over so that it presents to you online as well. Okay. Right. So I'll just give you an update about various things that have happened really during the last year concerning the OML. Yesterday you would have heard that I mentioned about the membership, that we were very pleased that we had 2 Afrimets members rejoining us as corresponding members last year, and 1 new corresponding member from Africa, but I'm not sure they're even a member of Afrimets Djibouti. So they joined us as a corresponding member in 2024 as well. And we've had 1 new corresponding member this year, but not from this region, from South America. I did mention, no, I didn't, that was in the XCOM meeting earlier. Please remember that the payments for OML contributions are due at the beginning of the year, and although we realise that different countries have different tax years and budget years and so on, please do pay as early as possible in the year, because that's what the OML convention does say. If you do reach 3 years of arrears, you don't pay for 3 years, the countries now are automatically delisted. You would be warned a few times, you'd get some letters to tell you about it, but at the end of the 3 years you would be delisted, which we really are very keen to avoid, to maximise the amount of engagement from countries within the OML. And I know there are a few countries in Afrimets who are in some arrears. I'll try to talk to people if I can tomorrow about it. If anybody else who comes from a country that's not a member, a corresponding member or a member state, then please do talk to me and I'll explain about how the membership works. So membership at the moment looks like this. We have 9 member states across the African continent and 21 corresponding members, which is actually quite good. There's a few significant countries that are not yet members, some of which we've been talking to about the possibility of becoming members. So just an update on a few things from last year's CIML meeting, and this is the annual meeting of all the representatives of each country that is a member state or corresponding member. We elected a new first vice president, Renee Hansen from Sweden. So this is the first time that we've elected a woman to one of the positions in the presidency, which is very good. So the 3 people you see there at the moment are the presidency of the organisation for the next period. It's a 6-year period that they're elected for. As far as publications are concerned, at that meeting, 4 OML recommendations were reconfirmed. 3 of those concern automatic weighing instruments, which are quite widely used, and the other one was for measuring vehicle exhaust emissions. There was 1 approval of a revised recommendation on water meters, as well as a couple of more procedural publications. We didn't have any proposals for new projects last year, so nobody proposed revising an existing recommendation or creating a completely new recommendation. So again, any of those countries which are members of the organisation who would like to make proposals for work that the OML should be doing, please do contact me about it, preferably with a volunteer to actually convene the project. And so far we haven't had any new project proposals for this year either. So it does mean it's a bit of a concern about engagement in the technical work. I just want to mention 3 specific projects that are going on that might be of interest. Firstly, OMLR 76 on non-automatic weighing instruments is our most widely used recommendation, certainly across the world. And it's also the largest number of certificates, OML certificates, that are issued for this recommendation. The BIML actually took over convenership in 2023 due to lack of progress by the previous conveners. although progress hasn't been that great since we've taken it over either, mainly due to the fact that this is not normally part of the BIML's work. So we've currently issued 2 committee drafts on this, which we've received hundreds of comments, literally. I think the first round we had something like 560 comments, the second time 350, which is obviously a lot of work to compile those comments and to address them. So we've had 2 short project group meetings, and at the moment we're trying to put in place, in fact an email went out today asking for volunteers to form a core group to work on this, because it's a very large project group. We have around 35, 36 members, I think, on the project group. So what we want is a small number of people who can help in the processing of this large number of comments. Secondly, electric vehicle supply equipment is an area that's of concern in many, many countries now, with the explosion in the use of electric vehicles, but there's very little regulation going on of the equipment that's used to charge them. So people don't really know what they're receiving when they charge their cars. We had a project group which is led by the Netherlands, which developed a guide very quickly, Guide 22, and that was not a recommendation because it doesn't contain all the parts that are necessary in an OML recommendation. It doesn't contain the test procedures, the test report, and so on. It was just a set of requirements. So that project group is now developing a full OML recommendation. They held an in-person meeting over 2 days this year, and an online meeting a couple of years ago, and the first committee draft of that recommendation is expected within the next month. The third one is about tire pressure gauges, and this is a very old recommendation. It was actually approved in 1975 and hasn't been updated since then. So a revision was put forward in 2014, 11 years ago, but not very much happened again. And so the convenership of that project changed to being Kenya with some support from the BIML 4 years ago, and again, not much, well, very little progress is actually being made. So since the requirement, since the suggestion to revise it came from the Afrimets region, it's a question to you. Do you still feel there's a need for the revision of this tire pressure gauge recommendation? And if so, we've got to find a way of making progress with it. I think it was something which was felt that due to the situation of there being very unsafe or unapproved and inaccurate tire pressure gauges across Africa on a safety critical point like tire pressure, that it was probably it was an important subject for this region to consider. So anyone who does have any thoughts about that, I'd be welcome to hear them now or tomorrow. I mentioned this the other day, but we're very keen to encourage participation by anyone who is a member state or a corresponding member. Both types of membership can participate in the technical work. Most of the project work now is done online. Sorry, microphone turned off. There's not much cost involved in actually taking part, apart from your time to follow the work. It can also, taking part in the project groups can also be used as a capacity building exercise on your side to see the processes and what other people have to say about particular subjects across the world. So it's quite a valuable thing for people to do. Each country can join as many projects as they want and can suggest as many experts from their country as they'd like to participate. So please do take advantage of that. Otherwise, your countries are paying their membership fee without getting so much benefit back from it. Maybe this battery's dying because it keeps turning itself off. I'll carry on until it turns off again. Shall I? No? Okay. I'll swap over. For the certification system, rather similarly, member states can become, if they're not issuing authorities, they can still become utilizers within the system, which means they sign up to the system to say that they will accept OML certificates issued by other countries. Corresponding members can become what we call associates, but it's the same thing. They're signing up formally to say that they will accept OML certificates. And in both of those cases, this is done by the category of instrument you want to accept certificates for. In both cases, they can take part in the OML CS Management Committee meetings, which then means that you can discuss how the system's working, suggest improvements. You can participate in the development of the certification system. And participating in this by accepting OML certificates gives you a guarantee of the quality of instruments coming into your countries, even if you don't have the facilities to do the type approval testing yourselves. You don't have the laboratories, you don't have the expertise, you don't have the manpower. So it gives you basically a free kind of type approval system. So we know we have many what we're calling secret utilizers. They're people who are actually using OML certificates, accepting them, but they're not signing up to the system to say that they're doing that formally. And it means they're missing out on the chance to take part in the way the certification system works. On the SEAMS matters, we have an award which we normally give out each year to recognise some significant activity to do with countries and economies with emerging metrology systems. So no nominations for this were received over the last 2 years, so we're very much looking forward to receiving applications for this year. And there is a link on this presentation which I presume will be circulated to you rather, which gives you the possibility of nominating yourself, an individual from another country, or a metrology service, for example, from another country for this award if you think they've done something that's really quite innovative and changes the way that legal metrology is worked in a significant way. And another thing just to point out, the CIML and conference this year is held in October as every year. This corresponds this year to our 70th anniversary on the 12th of October. This was supposed to be in Riyadh in Saudi Arabia, but the location had to be changed due to the ongoing sort of geopolitical situation, which meant that many countries were saying they would not be able to attend if we held it in the Middle East. So it's been moved to Paris. Unfortunately, it's only a hotel next to the airport, but we're looking at other possibilities to at least get you out into Paris for a reception in the evening. But please make sure you do note to your countries, if you were going to attend this, that the location is not in Riyadh, because we're still getting people registering for it as though it's in Riyadh. So please make sure you note that it's in France now. It's very important to attend in person. It is only an in-person meeting. For member states, it's very important because no proxies are allowed for our conference, which is the part that sets the budget and the overall policy for the organisation. So it's very important that either your representatives attend from your own country or that you appoint somebody from your embassy in France to attend in your place. That's it, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Tanmil. Any questions? Any questions? None. Mr. Kaiser?
Good late afternoon. I really ask myself if it is a punishment or an honor to be the tail end of such a long day. I'm not that sure, but I can promise you I will make it in 5 to 7 minutes if my presentation will be uploaded. Maybe in between I can tell you, you heard a lot about PDB. And hopefully you have seen also yesterday something about PDB, the support to the Ghana Metrology Institute. Just for your information, these are exactly the levels I talked about at the opening day. Ghana is a bilateral project. What, for example, Giacomonovic told about SADC-MEL and SADC-MET. That's our regional project. I'm here more or less to represent the upgrading of quality infrastructure. Okay? Do I have, that's fine? That was okay? Okay. Okay, even without the presentation. Okay, good. Where do I have, where? This one. Okay. I think you know already that we spend a lot of money on this macro level, and the ongoing project is up to 2027. This is to keep in mind when we are talking about what happened and what really was with the institutional development. And the very first bullet point, I think that's a very, very serious point, the sustainability of Afrimets. I checked my files and I found in 2016 the UNIDO study on the sustainability and the plan forward for Afrimets, and Afrimets should be sustainable in the year 2020. Just to make it very clear to you, what you have done in 2019, you had a resolution saying that from the next year onwards, membership fees will be charged. This is now something like 5-6 years ago. There is a little sister, or maybe a little brother, I don't know, which is called AFRAC, founded 6 years after Afrimets. AFRAC is charging membership fees. AFRAC has a bank account. AFRAC is registered as a non-governmental organization or a non-governmental company in that, or non-profit making company in the meantime. We had this study last year. There was a workshop about sustainability. Honestly, up to now, not that much has happened, to be very polite. Nevertheless, there is an existing, a standing offer from PDB to support you when it comes to legal advice, because we know exactly that the registration can't be done by Afrimets itself. It has to be done by a lawyer or a company, a legal company, which deals with these things. We are really ready to support that. And again, it is so easy for you, just follow your little sister or your little brother AFRAC, what they have done, just duplicate what they did, and you will be hopefully registered for the next General Assembly. Sorry for that I'm reminding you, but it's really something which is somehow for us as PDB troublemaking, because we are always asked, this Afrimets is now 20 years old, and it's still depending on money coming from development partners. It's really difficult. And you as fathers and mothers, I don't know how long are you supporting your kids. I have no idea financially. Think about that carefully. Okay. We do something in capacity. Sorry for that, but I think somebody has to tell you really now, wake up. In the field of capacity building, I think we heard from Maria that we do a lot in the food safety with the food safety program. That's fine. And also it was mentioned today with the TC length, and some of you are participating or have participated in the TC length workshop supported by PDB. There is one project which is on hold. These are the tape tunnels. We really also ask ourselves what happened in between. I think you know already that we are supporting AUC, AFCFTA, and PARCI and AUDA NEPAD. There is, I think, a new development. This is a so-called Africa Quality Policy Council, which is the monitoring body. I have to be very careful. It's I think they are called monitoring. They are responsible for the implementation of the African quality policy. By the way, this policy helps you to convince your policymakers that you should follow the recommendations of the AOC, and there you find an article or in a chapter about metrology, which seems to be, from my position, very important for you. African Continental Technical Regulatory Framework is already accepted, adopted, and in place. And it is, we are now on the stage. This is a policy. What we have to do now is really let's say a top-down approach from policy to practice. That's the reason we have developed a guideline or a guidance document, how to really implement a national technical regulatory framework. This document will be hopefully handed over tomorrow to the AFCFTA Secretariat. It's ready. And we are running a series of workshops to do this national regulatory framework. This will be done together with the AFCFTA Secretariat, AUC, and ISO. The AFCFTA Technical Workshop for Mutual Recognition Agreement, which took place 2 weeks ago in Kenya, in Nairobi. I think this is also very, very important to see that mutual recognition agreements are something where the possibility to overcome these technical barriers to trade. There is this animal, last but not least, which is called Made in Africa. It's a bit difficult. There is money available to run a campaign for Made in Africa. But honestly, up to now, nobody really knows what is really behind Made in Africa. I think if there is a label Made in Africa, go to the African trade fair, everybody's saying Made in Africa. There is no chance to protect a label or the slogan Made in Africa. You can't protect because it's rules of origin. Otherwise, if we use it for African products and these products are only traded within Africa, I really ask myself if there's made in Rwanda and then made in Africa. So everybody knows that Rwanda is in Africa. I think that's not really very, let's say, brilliant and helpful. When you are exporting to Europe, for example, and you have very unique products, maybe this label Made in Africa is a good selling point. Up to now, it's not yet clear, but we are working on that. It's not us, it's more or less an EU project. It's implemented by the International Trade Center together with UNIDO. But we are really also trying to support and to assist Paki to be part of that steering committee for Made in Africa. I know you know the support for the AU initiatives, the the Intra-African Trade Fair, which will take place in Algiers this year, hopefully, will be supported by PDB. There is an Enterprise African Network. These are young or small and medium companies. 60 of that will be trained specifically also what means product quality and which requirements have to be fulfilled. Last but not least, the African Medicine Agency, AMA. Nobody talks about, it was really the idea during COVID to have something in Africa, because up to that point, nothing happened there was no agency dealing really with the African medicine. It is already created, but you know better than I do, if you have these medical labs, it's very, very difficult to get them accredited. Okay, supporting Paki, I think you're very aware of that, and that's it. As you see, first PDB takes, and then hopefully we take measures. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Kaiser. Any comment? Any question?
Being above 18.
Good evening. Okay. I'm Dr. Engineer from Zambia. I saw the presenter was passionately on how old we are as 20 years and what we are doing about it. I think the word of comfort to you, sir, is that a committee was formed, nations, to expedite And we're telling you that committee, it has got committed people who would definitely take the measurements. We shall give you good results very soon and very soon. Thank you. And then we take measures.
Any other comment? This is an opportunity for you. I think this was the last presentation, so take advantage. You can ask even the other presenters, make comment. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Chair. Chair, the concern is on the low participation in OML by members. Some of them are fully paid up members, but the low participation in the OML activities. I think I'd like to encourage fellow states in Afrimets, let's participate fully in OML activities, OML, CS, and then also in the technical, like we've been invited by Mr. Danmiu to fully participate in the technical committees. We paying the money. Why are we paying the money if we are not participating? So we need to really participate and advance. Thank you so much.
Do you want to comment, Chair, to that? Thank you. Any other question or comment? Thank you very much. There is nothing. Wow. What a long day. It was a pleasure to try to drive the day today. Difficult, first time. But thank you for all the participants. Thank you for the presenters. Thank you for being here even now. So thank you for everything. I'll give over to our chair to just close this session. I know some of our colleagues are going back home tomorrow. So, Chair, it's your time.
Thank you very much. I think we've really had a long day, but the goodness, it was long and engaging. And I know Mr. Strinker has some good news after this. So maybe only thing I wanted to mention is that I think in the presentations that we had today, there are a number of things we noted that maybe we can also improve on them. I was looking for something, but it seems to have gotten lost from my emails. But one of the issues was, sometimes we are asked, why are you late? Why have you not done this? And then you get something like lack of political something. And for sure, if we are members, that's already a political commitment, isn't it? Yeah, so I think something like movement of artifacts. I'm sure our CEOs, our directors, you can actually visit the customs people and have a discussion with them. Maybe sometimes you could even organize a meeting with them so that they understand what these artifacts are. They think they are things you are coming to sell. So, but if you make them understand, they will understand. You can also show them that your country actually signed that customs. There's something on customs. Yes. When I checked my country, I realized it's a member. So I use that one as a tool, and we've reached a very good understanding. But I think the most important is to notify in advance. You know, sometimes we wait when the artifacts are at the airport, we start complaining. But we notify them that we intend to receive the following item, and this is the purpose, so that they also facilitate you. But we just build on good rapport with them, make them understand that metrology is even for them, that you are actually serving them. So that they know that if they don't facilitate you, then you cannot be able to serve them better. And then the other one was the issue of, I know ECOWAS, they were asking how they can work with Afrimets. What I just want to tell you is that you are Afrimets. The ECOWAS team, you are Afrimets. You remember we agreed yesterday that we are Afrimets. So whatever you require, reach out. And those who can help, also help. Yeah? They say there's something called laboring under considerable knowledge. I used to be told that if you go home with work from the office, you are one of the people who are laboring under considerable knowledge, because you should delegate the work and supervise. So if you are going home with a whole computer to do some work for the office, it means you are not leveraging on the benefits which are there. So if I need something, I should write to Lerato and say, hey, I need some information here. And maybe, yes, I'm told that there is a meal that is waiting for us. So let me thank all of you for really putting up long hours. I know some people could be traveling, but we will continue engaging over the dinner. Thank you. Let me call... Yes, I think maybe we can just resolve an issue here. We have countries which are belonging to more than one SRMO. And there was a question asked as to where do they vote. So maybe we can give some guidance as members here. Yes, sir. Yes. Any comment from members? Yes.
I think the issue was discussed at the beginning of the Afrimets when it was formed, that belong to the REX is a political decision by the countries.
Yes.
And the countries, they will choose where they will have their vote. They can't vote in both.
Yeah.
I can give an example of Tanzania as a member of EAC and the SADC. And Tanzania, actually at that time, they said they will be voting in EAC. So that was resolved. Thank you.
So I think that is very clear now, that if you belong to more than one SRMO, then you indicate where you want to vote, so that it's very clear that you are in all this, but when it comes to voting, this is where you are. So maybe that communication you can let us have. Thank you very much. Let me to string her.
Thank you, Chair. We have dinner at 6:30 by the sea. In case you get lost, you can ask for the village bar. So we'll plead with you to, those who will stay here, go and freshen up. Don't forget to bring your dancing shoes so that we can dance and exercise from the long hours of sitting down. Thank you very much.